This right next to me is the all-new Mitsubishi Triton, and it's all new from the ground up, featuring new tech, new styling, and of course improved refinement. And I've already gone in depth with the top specification GSR, but I think this model grade that sits below it, the GOS, is the sweet spot in the range, and it is the type of vehicle that you're going to compare with the Toyota Hilux SR5. So in this video, I'm going to run you through everything you need to know about the Triton. First, a brief overview of the model range, options, and its pricing. Then we're going to move on to the revised styling, its new interior, the upgraded technology, practicality, the tray, and of course the all-new powertrain, and then I'm going to drive it. Let's start the video with a brief overview of the Triton. So today we're going to look at the GOS, which sits below the top specification GSR. And in terms of options, it does come standard with cloth trim, whereas you can get it with a leather package, which will set you back $1,500. And that of course includes heated seats with electric adjustment and lumbar support. And in terms of colours, you have 7 to pick from. Let's now move on to the design. So the colour of this example is finished off in blade silver, and in terms of the key design elements of the new Triton, it features a squared off grille finished in dark accented grey, and being the GOS, it also features chrome along here, and as you can see for this all new model, it features a split headlight design. So up the top you have full LED DRLs, along with full automatic LED headlights, LED fog lights down the bottom. However, it is worth pointing out that there are some incandescent globes for the indicators. And in terms of off-road specifications, front and rear departure angles, waiting depth, all of those key figures are on the screen now. And down the bottom, there are 2 recovery points. And now moving towards the side view of the Triton, as you can see, it is sitting on 18-inch multi-spoke dark grey alloy wheels. And in addition to that, disc brakes at the front, along with rear drum brakes. You've also got plastic side steps down the bottom and rear privacy glass, but it is worth pointing out in comparison with the GSR, the GOS does miss out on roof rails, along with the rear sailplane, so that might matter to some potential buyers. And opposed to the dark grey accents, the GOS features chrome wing mirrors and door handles. And now moving towards the rear design of the Triton, it features part LED taillights along with incandescent globes for the indicators. You've also got some chrome elements along the tailgate. There is also a body coloured step-up bar with plastic inserts, and it is worth pointing out that the Triton does not come with a tow bar, as that is an accessory you need to pay for, which brings me on to towing capacity. So 3.5 tonnes for this new Triton and 750 kilograms unbraked. And down the bottom, it also features a full-size spare tyre. And lastly, styling is subjective, so write down your feedback in the comment section down below of what you guys think of this new Mitsubishi Triton. So inside the Triton, what do we all think about the cabin design? In comparison with the previous generation Triton, this is a big step up in terms of its design and interior materials. It isn't as high-tech as the latest Ranger, but compared to other main rivals like the Toyota Hilux for example, this is a better cabin in terms of fit and finish. So up the top here feels pretty good. You've also got this squidgy material along the glove box, soft center console as well, and you've also got soft elbow padding on the doors. It does start to get a bit durable when you look lower down, and even on top of the doors and on the lower sections. And moving on to its comfort features, the steering wheel offers both manual tilt and reach adjustment, along with dual zone climate control, and as standard on the GOS, it also features cloth trim. But as you can see, this example has been fitted with the leather package, and that includes synthetic leather seats, as well as power adjustment for the driver's seat with lumbar support, manual adjustment for the passenger, and both the front row seats can also be heated. And moving on to technology, it all runs off this 9-inch touchscreen that also features physical knobs and dials, and as well as physical buttons on the steering wheel. And this is what the home screen looks like, so as you can see, it is slightly configurable. And in terms of your key features, if I go into audio, as you can see, it features AM, FM, DAB, digital radio, along with Bluetooth and USB connectivity. You also have voice control with Siri integration, inbuilt satellite navigation with 3D mapping, and finally, a 6-speaker sound system. It also features wireless Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto, and I'll just show you what that looks like on the screen. So as you can see, it has a full screen integration. And moving on to safety and assistance, as you can see, it features a 360-degree camera where you can cycle through different views around the car, and overall the picture quality is very good. It also features front and rear parking sensors along with a rear cross traffic alert, and you can also offer a front cross traffic alert as a no-cost option. And in addition to other key safety items, it also features a lane keeping assistant along with blind spot monitoring on the wing mirrors. Up the top here, autonomous emergency braking with cyclist and pedestrian protection. And on the steering wheel, it also features adaptive cruise control where you can set the distance between yourself and the vehicle in front. There's also a speed limit assist, and up the top here is the driver fatigue monitoring system, which I will run you through when we go for a drive because it does get a bit temperamental. And moving towards the center, it features an analog gauge cluster along with a display in the center that shows you various things like fuel consumption, driver assistance, media functions, and other various menus you can cycle through. And moving on to off-road features, down the bottom here you have a rotary dial. So that means you have the ability to swap it from two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive high range for sealed surfaces, and four-wheel drive high range and low range for unsealed surfaces. And this button here is your drive mode selector along with hill descent control, and this button here is to lock the rear differential. And moving on to practicality, up the top here you have a sunglasses holder, and looking lower down you have a decent center console that goes down pretty deep, and towards the center two small cup holders, and over here a wireless phone charging pad along with a 12-volt socket and a USB-C and a USB-A port. It is worth mentioning, however, that you do miss out on the pop-out cup holders like what's featured on the GSR, but it does still feature the dual glove box setup, which overall both are pretty spacious, as well as these grab handles on the A-pillars, and down the bottom, decent door bin storage that could also fit a bottle of water. Let's now move on to the back seats inside the Triton. So I'm a full-size adult, and from what we can see, there is a decent amount of knee room, decent amount of toe room, and good headroom as well. And in relation to other key features, you have map pockets behind the front seats, as well as some small device pockets up the top here, USB-C and USB-A port down the bottom, along with the 12-volt socket. And up the top here, you've got roof-mounted air vents, along with a separate climate panel, door bin pockets that could also fit a big bottle of water. You've also got some pull-me-in handles, and moving towards the center, there is a fold-down armrest with two small cup holders. You can also fold the back section down as well, revealing additional capacity. And it also reveals the top tether point, but just keep in mind this bottom section doesn't lift up like on some other rivals. And lastly, these two outboard seats are also ISOFIX compatible. Let's now move on to the tray. So if I open up the tailgate, as you can see, it isn't damped like on the Ford Ranger, and you don't get a tonneau cover or a hard cover, as they are accessories you need to fit at your Mitsubishi dealership. But aside from that, you do get a plastic spray and bed liner, whereas on the Toyota SR5 Hilux, you just get bare metal. And from what we can see, it does provide a nice wide opening. You've also got additional tie-down points, and in terms of key dimensions, specifications, and payload figures, all of those key items are on the screen now. So on paper, it isn't setting any new benchmarks in terms of tray dimensions and features, but for the class, I think it's pretty good. So under the bonnet, all variants of the Triton feature an all-new 2.2 litre 4-cylinder diesel engine that puts out 150 kilowatts and 470 newton-meters of torque. It's also paired to a revised 6-speed automatic transmission, along with a redesigned suspension system that has been specifically tuned for Australian conditions. So the specifications out of the way, let's now take it out for a drive. Let's now move on to the driving impressions, starting off with visibility. I can clearly see what's in front of me. I've also got good side vision, decent wing mirrors, and good vision out the back. And this 360-degree camera is fantastic as well in terms of quality. So driving around town, what is it like? Well, this new Triton features an electronic steering setup. So as you can see, the steering is nice and light, whereas in an SR5 Hilux, it is quite heavy, as that uses a hydraulic system. And the added benefit with an electric steering setup, obviously you've got the active lane assist that works really well, but one feature that I can't stand is the driver monitoring system. It is very temperamental. You can turn it off, but it is a bit of a process, and every time you restart the car, it does automatically reset. And in terms of acceleration, if I just put my foot down, pretty responsive. So it now features a twin turbocharged 4-cylinder, like I mentioned before. In terms of the power delivery, it's quite smooth and it syncs in beautifully with the gearbox. And whilst the Ford Ranger has received the crown of being the most comfortable and luxurious dual cab ute in the segment, I don't think this is far off in terms of refinement. And in regards to fuel consumption, Mitsubishi claims the Triton should be able to achieve 7.8 litres per 100, whereas I've managed to average 8.5 litres per 100, which I think that is pretty good for a twin turbocharged 4-cylinder. It also features an 8-speed automatic transmission along with 4-wheel drive high range, so that means on sealed surfaces you can drive in 4-wheel drive, so the car has a lot of grip going around twisty corners. And the suspension, it is on the soft sides, and apart from a bit of wind noise on the open road, which is expected for a car of this shape, overall refinement wise it's pretty good. So what is my final verdict on the Mitsubishi Triton? Well, in this model grade, the GLS, I think it is the sweet spot in the range. The driving experience is a big improvement compared to the previous generation. The cabin feels well sorted. I think it also looks really good. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And if you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you in the next film. Thanks for watching.